Hey guys, I'm Zach, and today I'm going to share a book with you all, which is called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. So if you think you wanna buy this book or read this book, you can buy it through any websites or platforms like Shopee or Lazada, okay? So I was suggested by my tuition teacher that the book has a lot of knowledge and worldviews I can take in as a human and even as a counseling program student. So the first half of the book is mainly talking about the author's experience in a concentration camp, whereas the second half of the book is mainly talking about the author's main idea, which is the logotherapy. So the author was born in 1905 and was a psychiatrist in Vienna. Wow, the job that I was dreaming of becoming one day when I was studying my undergrad. Isn't it cool? He was a Jewish and taken to the Nazi death camp at Auschwitz during World War II. So he was a slave to do whatever the army asked him to do. He and others suffer in the camp and having a very little cloth to cover their body. I wouldn't say there is a shirt during winter, and they don't have enough food to eat. Only like some sort of congee or porridge to stuff their stomach. The author saw many people dying due to loss of hope. Those people because they didn't see a future getting through the war where the Allied power is going to take over the war soon. So here, let's give you a brief idea of who is standing in the Allied power. They are Britain, France, Russia, and the United States. And another force was called the Axis power. They were Germany, Italy, and Japan. As we all know, the Allied power won the war eventually. Those people who suffered in a concentration camp were released after that, of course. And Dr. Frankl, the author, he realized some sort of problems within themselves. Some people could get through the dilemma, but some could not. He was wondering why would the situation be. So he was trying to find out how did he and others suffering from the camp could get through that. Therefore, he came up with a whole new idea of logotherapy, which was different from the work previously done by Sigmund Freud and Alfred Adler. Freudian focused more on humans' motivation driven by pleasure, while Adlerian focused more on humans' motivation seeked by power. Dr. Frankl's logotherapy focused on finding the meaning of life. So what is the purpose of life to motivate someone to get through the most extreme conditions during the Nazi World War camp? To find the meaning of life. Let's pause here for a moment. How does logotherapy, logo, link to the meaning? So it is derived from the Greek word logos, which is the meaning of meaning in English. So therefore, logotherapy. So the author describes there are three versions of the meaning of life throughout the book. First is the effort to achieve. Second, the motivation provided by love. The last one is the courage and dignity of the human spirit in the face of suffering. So in Dr. Frankl's own case, he found meaning in his own work. When he was arrested, he had a drafted manuscript of his theory on psychotherapy with him. The papers were confiscated, but he was trying to preserve it by taking shorthand notes on scraps of paper. Second, Dr. Frankl often thought about his deep love for his wife, and that tried to continue his life during the Nazi camp. Third, Dr. Frankl witnessed many acts of heroism and sacrifice in the camp. When he came out from the camp, he realized that there were two types of people who survived from the camp. One was those who treasured every moment, every single second, since the day they released from the camp. One was those who kept complaining and having the idea of, I suffered through the hardest moment which most of the people had not. I can hate the world and they should understand and forgive me. Dr. Frankl mentioned the reason was because liberated prisoners were having enormous mental tension during the camp, and the sudden of freedom could bring some errors to their mentality. They thought they could use their freedom ruthlessly, just like how they were treated in the camp. But one thing was different. They were being oppressed during the camp, and now they were the oppressor. Dr. Frankl brought up the existential vacuum in his book. So, what's existential vacuum? It is the inability to find or create a meaning in life. So he mentioned these two types of people during this era, which is conformism and totalitarianism. Yes, totalitarianism. Conformism is to do what others do, and totalitarianism is do what others wishes to do. Like, why are some people having Sunday neurosis? Wait, what is Sunday neurosis? Do you know? Never mind. Let me read it from Google for you. It is that kind of depression which afflicts people who become aware of the lack of content in their lives when the rush of the busy week is over, and the void within themselves becomes manifest. Never mind. So a simplified version simply means that when you work for the whole week and you're occupied with your work, but when it comes to Sunday, you feel empty, you feel meaningless, and craving for the Monday to come. So that's it. Do you get it? So when people have Sunday neurosis, what does that say? That may simply say those people are working to live, but yet to find the true meaning in their life, because they are packed with work during weekdays and they have no time to rest, to think about what's the real meaning of their life. So when it comes to Sunday, they feel super empty and meaningless. So that may be the reason for some people, or you may call them workaholic, to work during a Sunday, because they are afraid of the feeling of being meaningless and doing nothing. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Dr. Frankl said, we may find meaning even in a hopeless situation. It brought us the meaning of suffering. Life is full of uncertainties. How do we prevent any unplanned events not to happen in our life? I would say that's nearly impossible. So what we can do is only switching our mind to look at things differently. Like Dr. Frankl suffered from a concentration camp. He did not give up his life during and after the dilemma. Instead, he tried to inspire more people to have the mindset like him, to find the meaning of life. Like how he quoted Nietzsche's words in his book. He who has a why to live for can bear with almost anyhow. Like under this COVID-19 situation nowadays, when people are forced to stay at home and work from home, but some people have no work from home needed from their job, they often find their life boring. Why? Because they are seeing their job, their work, as the meaning of their life. Without being packed by their own work, they have nothing to spark their life interestingly or meaningfully. Do you think we should keep our meaning of life as our job? Or do you think besides the job, we should find a true meaning in our life? Feel free to comment below. Okay guys, so here's the brief idea of The Man's Search for Meaning by Dr. Viktor Frankl. So if you like my video, don't forget to like it and subscribe it. And oops, like I said, if you want to read this online, you can feel free to buy it on any website like Lazada or Shopee or Book Depository. Or there's a free version online, you can read it free through the PDF on Google. Okay, so I'm Zach, thank you guys and take care.